All right, all right, all right, all right. I'm surprised this didn't make any headlines in the manosphere. I'm surprised nobody in the manosphere is talking about this. But all right, I'll give you. Let me put out this article because Caitlyn Jenner has announced that she'll run for governor of California. So let me put out this article. All right. Now this. Hold on. What the hell? Okay, all right. I'm here. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, let me put the link to this article is located in the video description box underneath, but I will also post the link to this article on the chat or in the chat. All right, for you guys can read it yourselves. Hold on for a minute. What the fuck? Hold on, excuse me for a minute. My fault. All right. My bad, people. My bad, people. Let me. Okay, I'll read the article. Uh, from NBCnews.com. And the title is Caitlyn Jenner launches bid for California governor. The former Olympian, reality TV star, and transgender activist announced her run as the effort to recall Governor Gavin Newsom runs forward. So far in California, what's going on in the state of California is that there are about 2 million signatures to recall the current governor of California. His name is Gavin Newsom. Or, in other words, to kick the current governor out of power, thus, would force an election for a new governor of the state of California, which what happened, and the same happened 20 years ago when Arnold Schwarzenegger became the governor of California. You know, the governor back then, I forgot his name, he got recalled or voted out of power by the voters of the state, thus forcing an election. And Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor of California. But and it seems like history will repeat itself. So I'll go on to read. Okay. This article was dated April 23rd, 2021, written by Adam Edelman. And it begins like this. Caitlyn Jenner, the former Olympian, reality TV star, and transgender activist, said Friday she is running to be governor of California as a recall of the sitting Democrat, excuse me, as the sitting Democratic governor moves forward. In a process, no, excuse me, the fuck? In a press release posted on Twitter, Jenner, a longtime Republican, said that she'd make a formal announcement in the coming weeks and pitch herself as a compassionate disruptor who will campaign on solutions and providing a roadmap back to prosperity for the state. Oh, a longtime Republican. So since Caitlyn Jenner, transgender, been a longtime Republican, don't be surprised if she runs for governor on the Republican ticket, thus disproving this whole notion that only the Democratic Party has people within the LGBT community involved in it. You know, there's multiple political parties that consist of people of the LGBT community. You know, but moving forward, California, moving forward, and I'm going to continue reading. California has been my home for nearly 50 years. I came here because I knew that anyone, regardless of their background or station in life, could turn their dreams into reality. But for the past decade, we have seen the glimmer of the Golden State reduced by one party rule that places politics over progress and special interests over people. Sacramento needs an honest leader with a clear vision, Jenner said. You know, I'm going to repeat this paragraph, and this is from Caitlyn Jenner's own words, which she stated, California has been my home for nearly 50 years. I came here because I knew that anyone, regardless of their background or station in life, could turn their dreams into reality. But for the past decade, we have seen the glimmer of the Golden State reduced by a one party rule that places politics over progress and special interest over people. Woo. And she said one party rule. I'm assuming when she said that, she's talking about how the state of California have been overrun by Democrats. And usually Republicans, usually Republicans would say some shit like that. No diss to the Republican Party. I'm just saying. It seemed that type of language seemed very Republican-ish. which is a further hint that Caitlyn Jenner may run on the Republican ticket when she runs for governor. Going on to the article, Jenner's campaign website also went live Friday morning. Axios first reported the news. And here's Caitlyn Jenner on Twitter stating, I'm in. California is worth fighting for. Visit CaitlynJenner.com to follow or donate today. Hashtag recall Newsom. And here's the paperwork. Oh, yeah, Caitlyn Jenner showed a copy of the paperwork that she filled out. Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner files initial paperwork to run for governor in California. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, that was a press release. Sorry, that was a press release. I'm sorry. Okay. So I'll continue reading. Jenner, the step parent to the famous reality TV Kardashian clan, had been reportedly considering entering the governor's race if a petition to recall California Governor Gavin Newsom qualified for the ballot. Recall organizers have said they collected more than 2 million signatures, well above the 1.5 million needed to meet the state's threshold to trigger an election. Woo! So in the state of California, all is needed is 1.5 million signatures to recall or to meet the requirements to kick a current state governor out of office. And right now, according to recall organizers in California, they collected more than that, 2 million signatures. Damn, these people want Newsom out of office. Counties have until the end of the month to verify signatures and report their tallies to state election officials. The state finance department will take about 30 days to produce a cost estimate for the election before a legislative panel reviews the findings. Only then would an election date be set. Okay. If a recall formally qualifies for the ballot, voters will be asked two questions. The first would be whether they want to recall Newsom, and the second would be who should replace him. There's no limit to how many people can run, and whoever gets the most votes wins. Wow. An open election that allows someone to be elected with only a small plurality. Plurality. Okay. Plurality. Fuck. Jenner could be the first of what many strategists believe will be a long line of celebrity and novelty candidates who could closely mirror those who ran during the 2003 recall in the election in California. When adult film star Mary Carey, former child actor Gary Coleman, and hustler publisher Larry Flynt added their names to the list of more than 100 would-be governors. Action movie hero Arnold Schwarzenegger ultimately won the election with 49% of the vote. Wow, 49%. That's a big win. With more than 100 people running for governor, and Arnold Schwarzenegger got 49% of that vote. That's a big win. Like Schwarzenegger, Jenner's path to politics has not been conventional. Jenner first rose to fame as an Olympic medal winning decathlete in the 1970s. Years later, Jenner once again became a household name after marrying into the Kardashian family and a years long involvement in the reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians, documenting their lives. Jenner was married to Kris Jenner, whose children from a previous marriage included Kim and Khloe Kardashian from 1991 to 2015. The Jenners The Jenner's children were also featured on the show. They include Kendall Jenner, a supermodel, and Kylie, a cosmetics mogul who at one time was among the world's youngest billionaires. Jenner announced she is a transgender woman in April 2015. She starred in her own reality TV show called I Am Kate in 2016. Jenner endorsed former President Donald Trump in 2016 in the 2016 election, but later renounced her support, writing in a 2018 Washington Post editorial, "I was wrong. The reality is that the trans community is being relentlessly attacked by its president," she wrote. Okay. And I guess on Twitter, the account called Equality California states, "Make no mistake, we can't wait to elect a trans governor of California." But Caitlyn Jenner spent years telling the LGBTQ community to trust Donald Trump. We saw how that turned out. Now she wants us to trust her. Hard pass. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Uh-oh. Here over her entrance into the race Friday, citing her prior support for him. State that, but okay. All right, so okay, that's the end of the article. Right. So this is that's funny. Wow, that's funny. Uh Caitlyn Jenner wants to run for governor, and hey yo, my bad, man. My bad. My bad. Yeah, my bad, Brownsburg. What's up? Yeah, yeah. I went out, but I'm back. All right. My fault about that. But going on to the topic. That's funny. Caitlyn Jenner, you know, it, may be the first transgendered governor of California or the governor of any state in the United States if one, a recall of the current governor of California happens, and B, if there's a vote for a new governor, if there's a election or for a new governor, and Caitlyn wins. But what's so funny is that several LGBTQ groups is not in support of Caitlyn running for governor. That's funny, man. I guess because Caitlyn Jenner in the past at one point supported Donald Trump, but pulled back her support. Wow. Yeah. Oh yeah. Brownsburg. Yeah, that show lasted only one season. I never watched that, but I heard of it. But yeah, that's funny, man. So, and it's very possible. It's very possible that that Caitlyn Jenner can win. It's very possible because because let me tell you, I never thought a guy like Arnold Schwarzenegger would ever be successful. Well, I don't think anyone thought a guy like Arnold Schwarzenegger would ever be successful in becoming governor of California. Now you got Caitlyn Jenner here, and Caitlyn Jenner does have a name, a big name for herself, and not and has the ability to have a lot of other celebrities support her, thus gain a certain momentum in which it can convince a lot of voters, especially a lot of young voters, to vote for Caitlyn Jenner. So this, this can very well be possible. And since the state of California met the amount of signatures, or the amount of signatures to petition a recall to kick the current governor out of office, this very well can be possible. Because I'm sure that out of all the would-be governors that may run for governor, unless if there's a bigger celebrity than Caitlyn Jenner that'll run for governor, Caitlyn would have the biggest name of all, thus would have the most backing. Yeah. Exactly, Brownsburg. Yeah, California is a blue state and very liberal. A very liberal state, thus have no problem putting a person who is considered a transgendered in political office. So that's not a problem, even though that Caitlyn Jenner is a longtime Republican, thus may run on the Republican ticket. They may run as a she may run. I'm sorry, she may run as a Republican candidate. But my thing is this: all right, so enough of the her being a transgender and may be the next governor of California. I'm interested in knowing what is Caitlyn Jenner's solution. What is Caitlyn Jenner's policies? What type of policies? What type of plans does Caitlyn Jenner have to rid some of the problems in California, especially when it comes to the high homelessness rate in California, especially in cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco, where in Los Angeles or throughout the Southern California area, there's a big homeless rate, man. There's a big issue with homelessness. And a lot of that is due to the extremely high cost of living in California. You got like damn near 10 cities out in California, from the Bay Area on down to the Southern California area. You have 10 cities. You have certain places where it's just nothing but homeless people outside with their tents, taking a taking a number two outside. I mean, I'm hearing that in California, that it's not strange for someone to just come outside their house, about to go to their garage, to get in their car and drive and go to work, just to see somebody pooping on their grass. Yeah. Oh yeah. Just like New York. Just like New York is going have been on a full-on exodus. Same thing with California. The cost of living is too high. So, what would be Caitlyn Jenner's policy on relieving the cost of living in California? Or what program, or does Caitlyn Jenner have any plans or policies to set up programs to make it easier for working class or low class people to find decent and affordable living? If there isn't any programs, if there isn't any such programs like that already in California. So I want to know what's her policies. You know, what policies does she have in order to convince people to vote for her? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Shoot. This is funny. And who's going to be one of Caitlyn Jenner's biggest supporters. It's going to be Kanye West. Kanye West will be one of her biggest supporters running for governor. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But it's funny, man. And California have no issues putting a person like Caitlyn Jenner as as their governor. But I want to know what policies does she have, because people are so just caught up on the fact that, okay, this might be the first transgendered person to run for political office or to run for governor of any state of these United States. Okay, fine. But what people, especially voters in California, have to ask is, what are her policies? You know, why should we vote for you instead of the other potential candidates? What do you have that make yourself stand out? What policy do you have? What plans do you have to make yourself stand out from the rest of the candidates or the potential candidates? What do you have? So I think so. If you guys who's watching me, who lives in the state of California, those are some of the questions you have to ask regarding Caitlyn Jenner running for governor. But it's interesting though. I'm surprised that I'm like one of the only few people who heard this news, even though it was all over television, stuff like that. But yeah. Brownsburg said, but that's the problem. Many people are sheep. They vote on the personality, not the actual policies they stand by. I'm starting to notice that now. Yeah, yeah. It's been like that for a long time. When people vote, just like you said, Brownsburg, they vote when it comes to the personality or the charisma of a certain politician, or they vote out of spite for another politician. Where if the average voter, if they hate one politician, they'll automatically vote for the opposing politician just because they hate the other politician. That's how Donald Trump became president in 2016. He became president in 2016 because a lot of people voted out of spite because they hated Hillary Clinton, especially when it came to these mysterious emails that was affiliated with Hillary Clinton. Yeah. And not only that, that's how Joe Biden got into office this past presidential election. In this past presidential election, Joe Biden got voted in out of spite because a lot of people couldn't stand Donald Trump. So, yeah, man. People basically, to make the long story short, the average American voter vote for the wrong reasons. They vote for the wrong reasons. They vote for when they vote, Their reason for voting has nothing to do with policies or ideology or the political ideology of a specific candidate that they're voting for. They're voting for the charisma, the personality, whether or not this will be the first black president or the first black female vice president or all that other stuff. Or, oh, yeah, someone from the LGBTQ community is running. Let's vote for that person. But the last thing they pay attention to is policies until that person is already in office and they realize, and the voters realize, that their needs is not being met. Then they start talking about policies. It's like, but damn, you was not thinking about policies before you voted for this individual in office. But it's until after this individual got put in office, thanks to you voting for this person, now you're talking about policies. Or how come this is not working? How come that's not working? Come on, man. I don't know. The average person in America, the only time when they wake up is when it's a little bit too late. You know, when it's a day late and a dollar short, that's when the average American person finally realizes certain things that they should have seen beforehand. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. You see the title? But all right, so that's what I wanted to tell you guys. So you guys have a good night. Shalom.